Hi friends, welcome to Non-Functional Club. Today we will look into secure passwords concept from broken authentication section. Also here we'll look into simple assignment which is provided on page 4 of secure passwords. So let's begin. So currently I am on secure passwords section. It comes under broken authentication. So we have already seen assignments which are related to authentication bypass, JWT tokens, password reset, and currently we are looking into secure passwords. So first we'll go through the concept, and ideally the goal of this particular section, which is secure passwords. So the goal of this section is to enable an understanding about strong password implementation and the specifications associated with it. It also enables user to have a basic overview of where we can pay attention while developing an application which stores password. In the next page or in the next section, it talks about National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is NIST. So this particular institute is recommended, or it is a non-federal, non-regulatory federal agency within US Department of Commerce, which has the mission which promotes the competitiveness, and it provides advancing measurement science, standards and technology which enhances the economic survey and improve our quality of life. So under this particular NIST institution, we have, if we go to this particular section, we have a section which is around the surprising new password guidelines which are associated with NIST. So if you see here, this section talks about the guidelines, and similar to these guidelines, if you just navigate to the third page, we'll have the NIST password standards. So in details regarding the password standards, it is talked about in this particular section. So first of all, what password rules should be set or we must follow at this particular moment to like enhance our password needs or set up a password. So we should not have any composition of rules. So if we provide rules, then ideally the user will create a complex password which he would forget. Next, we should never provide a section or a part where user can store password hints. We should never provide any security questions. Then we should not have any unnecessary changing of passwords. So particularly user should have his own way of changing the passwords. We should not prompt him to change the password up after a certain period of time. Obviously, the minimum size of password should be 8 characters and more than that, so that it is a very strong password. And this should be the minimum criteria, not the maximum one. So we should support Unicode characters while setting up passcode. With Unicode characters, it should also include emojis and white spaces, so as to make the password more complex. And obviously strength meter. So while user is setting up the password, we should provide a strength meter on that password so that user is able to provide a good password which has a good strength. Then whenever a password is set, the application should check the password against known or bad choices. So if we are already aware that a user is providing specific passwords, which is like single character with multiple entries or 1234 ABCD, so such passwords should be prompted to the user that these are incorrect or these passwords are very much harmful in terms of attacks. So even we should maintain a list in the libraries so that we have the previous breach of passwords which were previously used and the system was hacked. Then we should have the list of dictionary words, and we should have context specific words which the user, if it sets, we should be prompting him that this particular password is of a bad choice. Then NIST also talks about the usability. So we should allow the user to paste the password so that he can enter the password or he can copy the password from certain point and he can paste it. So because this will also enhance the user's choice of setting up a strong password. We should allow the display of password. So on many sites currently we have a I symbol which will provide the display of the password so that user is entering the correct password, he can authenticate it, and obviously providing the strength meter. Now the assignment which is provided here, this is a sort of demo, not an assignment, but it clearly talks about the brute force of your password. So this particular assignment is regarding the brute force and how your password, whichever password you set, is particularly enabled a user to be doing the brute force. So here they have provided a list of few passwords. So if I just add the first entry, that is password, and if we submit it, we can see you have failed. Try to enter a secure password. So ideally, if we are setting up our password as password, so the estimated cracking type using the brute force is very much like negligible, and this is the top 10 common password. And there are also suggestions provided that we should be using another word or two to make this password more non-attackable. So if I just click on show password, and if I'm using the same password, but I'll just make few changes. So P, at the place of A, I'll be using @ and W at the place of O, I'll just add 0. And if I submit this, so again, if we see, this particular password are predictable. So even if we are setting a password with changing the parameters with respect to our own words or our own assumptions, that is @ in the place of A and 0 at the place of O, so there also this particular password is crackable and easily able to identify. Similarly, there is another name which is John Smith. So if we just add that particular name here, and if we click on submit, here we can see again this is not a secure password. The length is 9 and the estimated guesses to crack the password is 15,000, and the time is also provided here. So if we provide a brute force attack, we have done this in the hashcat assignment. You can just refer the hashcat assignment and get an overview of how we attack using the dictionary of words. So here ideally it will take 25 minutes to crack this, and here also we can use some uncommon words so that we can better justify our password. Next is the character and slash. So let's just give the date here, and if we click on submit, here if we see, the guesses are provided and the time is provided again. So here clearly it is written that we should avoid the dates and years that are associated with us. So if we provide our birth date as a password, that is also an incorrect way to do it. Now the next one, if we go, so here also they have given avoid recent years or the avoid years which are associated with us. So here clearly we can see that 1992 home, it means that maybe on the year 1992 we have taken our home which we are currently residing in, and this is the time which is taken to crack it. Also the next few passwords, if we see, these are easily kind of crackable. If we really want to have certain way of setting up our password, we can definitely set something which is not easily used or which can't be easily attacked, and that can be set up as a password which will be giving the way so that it will be a heavy password which is not able to be brute forced. So just I'm trying out. Here you can see I've just put it out a random password, and again it is giving us the score of 3 out of 4. So it will take 2 hours to crack this, and we should try a secure password. So ideally we should be providing a password which is genuine, and that password will be actually be remembered easily, but hard one to be remembered or hard one to be brute forced. Moving on to the next part. So here again a descriptive analysis is given about if our password is actually secured or not, and how can we make the password secure. So what can you do to improve the security of your account? So we should be using passphrases. So use passphrase generators like Diceware to generate passphrases. So if you are not able to create a password, so you can definitely use a like a password manager, and it will create and securely store your password at a location which will be safe enough so that you can definitely regather your password. Next part is use of two-factor authentication. So currently, if you see, there are many sites which enables two-factor authentication. Even on Gmail, we have it. We have to associate our email ID, a different email ID, of course, and your mobile number, so that there will be an OTP which will be provided, and it would be second level of authentication after your username and password, and then only you can go into your account and do the further on activities. Next part is about storing passwords. So this particular section talks about how we can store passwords. So according to the NIST, there are few recommendations how an application should handle passwords and how it can store it securely. So here there are few parameters which are provided. So using of encryption and a protected channel for requesting passwords. So from wherever, like, we should be storing the passwords in an encrypted way. It should never be stored in a plain text format. So even if it is stored in a database, or if it is retrieved from a certain channel, say from cloud of a different entity or a different service, so that cloud should be protected. Next we have is resistance to offline attacks. So if our particular password is stored offline, then it should be resistance to the attacks which will be offline. We can use salts. So it is again a technique which is of encryption. So we should be using it, and that should be of least of 32 bits in length. Then we can use hashing around the password. So the password will be a singular function. With the password, it should be hashed, and it will be done using, like, the function takes the password, the salt, and a cost factor as an input, and then generates the password hash. So our password will be obviously encrypted using all these three parameters so that it will be kept more safe. These are few more things which can be associated with the password which is stored. Then we can have a memory hard key derivation function which is used to store, or which is used, or it is further increasing the needed cost to perform attack. And we can have high cost factor. So the cost factor or iteration count of the key derivation function should be as large as the verification server performance will allow. So it should be at least 10 iterations, so that whenever a user is trying to attack or using some functionality or a tool to have a brute force or decrypt our password, so it should be laid in a way such that it is not the user is not able, or the intruder is not able to attack or retrieve the password. So this was about the secure password details and simple demo for the password check around how easily the password can be brute forced. In this channel, we have also created the JWT assignment playlist. Do watch for better understanding of JWT in details. Stay tuned for next WebGoat assignments. Don't forget to subscribe Non-Functional Club channel. Hope this session was useful. Thank you.